There are cautions, though, aren't there? I think with most of these fairy stories, tales, if people want to start working with fairy, there are some cautions around it, aren't there?
Yes. If somebody would start to work with fairies, I would say start with an open mind and with a cautious heart. So, so open minds allows to see the magic in the mundane. We tend to put like a strict dichotomy. This is magic, this is the mundane, but there is magic in the mundane, in the simple occurrences of everyday
life. Absolutely.
You don't have necessarily to travel to faraway places like, oh, I cannot connect to the Irish fairies because I cannot go, to Ireland, or I don't live in Ireland. So the open-mindedness invites to spot and sense the fairy presence in the very space that you are. So no need to undertake anything impossible to actually start on a fairy path. With this in mind, starting on a fairy path should begin with reading the lore. As I said, I'm here in the United States, and we have the example of fairy from different cultures appearing, emerging, interacting with people in the United States. So fairies are not connected to the geography. So you can interact with the Norse Alfar, you can interact with the Irish she can interact with various types of fairy beings, even if you're across the ocean and far away from Europe, where, the cultures where they originated. Why am I mentioning this as such an important aspect for anybody who begins to work with fairy beings? We have these fairies from the outside coming in, acclimating, becoming of the place. But we also have the fairy beings who were here on this land from before the arrival of Europeans to North America. So it is important for anybody starting on this path, and parentheses, everywhere in Europe, with population migrating all across, and us living in a world where communication and transportation is increasingly easier, wherever you are, pay attention of who was there before, learn their lore, make sure you show respect, announce to them your intention to work, let's say, with fairies from a different culture, and also study really, really well the lore, the folklore of the fairy beings from the culture that you're interested. For example, I'll take the Norse Alfar. In my situation, I have to pay attention and pay respect to the beings who have been there on Native American land. I do not have a call, a deep felt need or desire to work with them, but I'm acknowledging them. They're my neighbors. They have been there for long before my house was built. So I talked to people from the native culture, announcing I do not intend, to become like part of your culture. I don't make any such claims. I do not want to teach anybody about what your culture is, because that's the people whom I talk to. So their thing is closed. But I want to be respectful and don't do anything that would show disrespect to the land spirits and to those beings that are very similar to fairies in my culture. And they're like, oh, sure, no problem. This is what they like. And they told me, leave out some tobacco, leave out some cornmeal. In the meantime, by the way, the Alfar took a liking to tobacco too. We'll come back to that in a second. So leave out some cornmeal, fresh water, and no alcohol in the places where, you have, because we have some groups have, please don't leave out alcohol. Some others don't. So I was talking to someone from the farther northern United States who said, oh, we don't have a problem. We can pour alcohol. Again, people from like native people, we don't have a problem with that. So it depends. It's regional. Learn the lore of your local area. And then interacting with my Alfar, they said, okay, we would like this, and this for offerings, learning their lore, having them around, and they do like alcohol. So I found a way, I found a place. So they have a dedicated space in my backyard where I know. So I'm leaving offerings for the spirits who are native to the land and to the Native American cultures. I'm leaving offerings farther away from them. They have a tree, and they like that. And for in the space that I set up, and I invited there, hey, this is your space. This is your offering stone. This is so. If you like that liquor, if you like that little bit of wine, if you like that beer, it's here. So, yeah, if it's spirits, it goes on the stone. So I'm not pouring it straight to the root of any kind of plant. So I'm pouring it on the stone, it will evaporate or be enjoyed. If it's wine or beer, actually that goes really well into the ground for the plant. It actually feeds the tree. So learn the lore. This is the first step. And then build your own personal experience. See who's coming, meditation. Learn some form of meditation. And in that quiet space, that's where these beings begin to speak. And learn to discern your own voice and your own self-fulfilling prophecies, your own wishful, not self-fulfilling prophecies, what am I talking about? Your own wishful thinking, to separate that from the messages that you are getting from genuine beings.
But you've now got Scandinavian elves hooked on tobacco.
I thought I'm the only one, and then I was participating at a conference in Dortmund a month ago, and somebody else mentioned, oh yeah, they like tobacco, and I'm like, oh, sure, that must be a thing then. I'm not the only one. It's raw tobacco, like unprocessed, just the leaves, tobacco leaves. So it's not. Yeah, no, I'm not teaching them how to smoke.
They're bad habits.
Yeah. They're actually not keen, from my own interaction. They're actually not keen on the smoking thing. I think they would be quite upset if I would. So I don't smoke, by the way. So they would be quite upset if I would. So not doing it.